Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wanur Natasha Fatihah binti Wan Arif Noor.
Hi, my name is Nur Sharain binti Zulkifli.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurfatin Atirah binti Hayruddin.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nobarkis binti Abdul Wahab.
I will start this presentation with chapter 5, which is motivation. The definition of motivation is about the internal states or condition that activates behavior and give its direction. Motivation is also a desire or want that energizes and directs goal-oriented behavior, and it is an influence of needs and desires on the intensity and direction of behavior. Then we move to the next subtopic, which is companies' efforts in increasing employees' motivation. So there are so many efforts can be made to increase employees' motivation, and one of the efforts is by providing social benefits. For instance, we do have paid medical leave. This includes maternity leave, time off work for employees to recover from surgeries, and also time off work for employee to ailing family members. Next, we have rewards. Reward system that include a combination of cash and non-monetary reward as well as social award. As an example, recognition and praise have the greatest impact on employee performance. Lastly, we have training. Training can help employees understand how their work fits into their company's structure, mission, goals, and achievement. As a result, employees can become more motivated and excited about their work. Next subtopic is the challenges of motivating employees. Firstly, the challenge is revised employment relationship. Employment relationship is the legal link between employees and employer. This happened due to globalization, information technology, corporate restructuring, and it is potentially undermines trust and commitment. The next challenge is flatter organizations, means it has an organizational structure with few or no levels of middle management between executive and staffs. There are fewer supervisors to monitor performance, and it can be a challenge for them. The last challenge is changing workforce. It means that employers may need to adapt their recruitment, training, and management processes. As an example, Gen X or Gen Y bring different expectations. So we move to the next subtopic, which is needs-based theories. The first theory that we will discuss is Maslow's needs hierarchy theories. There are 7 categories capture most needs, but only 5 categories placed in a hierarchy. Human needs are hierarchical in nature. 5 categories placed in a hierarchy are physiological, safety, affection and belongingness, self-esteem, and self-actualization. The second theory we have is ERG, which is existence, relatedness, and growth. A needs hierarchy theory consisting 3 instinctive needs, which are existence, relatedness, and growth. Growth is about desires for continued personal growth and development, and relatedness is all about interpersonal relationship. Meanwhile, the existence is a physiological and material well-being. The third theory is learned need theory by McClellan. There are 3 needs in this theory, which are need for achievement, need for affiliation, and need for power. For the need of achievement, it is about the desire for challenging and somewhat risky goals, feedback, and recognition. For the need of affiliation, it is about the desire to seek approval, confirm and avoid conflict, friendly and warm relationship. Lastly, need for power. It is a desire to control one's environment, to influence their behavior, and to be responsible for others' intention and recognition. Our fourth and last theory is innate human drive. Under this theory, we have 4 drive theory. It is a motivation theory based on the innate drives to acquire, learn, bond, and defend that incorporates both emotions and rationality. The first drive theory is drive to acquire. It explains about the need to take or keep objects, and experiences. Secondly, drive to bond. It is a need to form relationships and social commitment. Meanwhile, drive to learn explain about the need to satisfy curiosity and resolve conflicting information. Lastly, drive to defend. We need to protect ourselves and have a basis fight or flight.
Hi, I am Shara. I will explain this part. Firstly, expectancy theory of motivation. Increasing E to P expectancy, it has training and development, job analysis and selections. It includes train employees and select people with required competencies. Secondly, increasing P2O expectancy. Its mean career and performance management, reward and benefits. It includes measure performance accurately and describe outcome of good and poor performance. Thirdly, increasing outcome valence. And valence mean anticipate satisfactions or dissatisfaction that an individual feels towards an outcome. For example, ensure the rewards are valued. Next point, organizational justice components. It has distributive justice perceptions, which means ensuring that outcomes are fairly distributed in the organizations. And for procedural justice perceptions deal with whether or not the process used to allocate the rewards is fair. These organizational justice components also apply equity principles, and one of the principles is everyone in the group should receive the same outcomes. So let's move to our next point is element of equity theory, which contains outcome or input ratio. An input is a contribution one makes to receive a reward. Different input can include time commitment and loyalty to an organization. An outcome or output is the compensations that an individual receives as a direct result of the input they provide. Next, comparison others means equity theory suggests that people compare the ratio of their own outcomes to inputs against the ratio of someone else's outcome to inputs. Last point, equity evaluations. It means compare outcome or input ratio with the comparisons other. The last point for this part is type of reward in the workplace. First point, membership or seniority-based rewards. For membership-based reward, these rewards are allocated in return of employees. Membership is in an organization such that it goods to all employees irrespective of their performance. For seniority-based pay system are those in which the primary basis for pay increases is the employee tenure. Second types of reward is job status based rewards. It means estimates job when by measuring the jobs required skill, effort, responsibility and working conditions. Next points, competency based rewards means pay increase with competencies acquired and demonstrated. For example, organizations are shifting from job status to rewarding employees for their skill, knowledge, and other competencies that lead to superior performance. It also has skill-based pay, which means pay increases with number of skill modules learned, even though only one skill area performed at a time. Our last point for types of rewards is performance-based rewards are allocated based on the performance of the employee in a company and has three types, namely organizational reward, team rewards, and individual rewards. Performance-based rewards are given in pay plans, incentive systems, group bonus, or commissions. So that's all from me for chapter 5. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. In Chapter 6, we learn about work-related stress and stress management. This topic consists of types of stress, causes of stress, consequences of stress, and also the management of stress. Firstly, I will start with definition of stress. So, what is stress? Stress can be defined as the feeling of tense, anxious, and worried. It is also can be defined as stimulus or response. Stimulus is some event that result in descriptive consequences, while response is an act of stress as it is a response to some stimulus that causes a stressor reaction and behavior. Stress can be divided into two types, which are eustress and distress. Eustress can be described as a good types of stress that motivate people to achieve their goal, while distress can be described as a negative experience. Example of eustress is when someone who are enjoy and happy in studying or working, or we can see when students very motivated to do their assignment and able to finish it within the time they expected. On the other side, distress is when students feel unmotivated to do their assignment. Next is a General Adaptation Syndrome (JAS) model that consists of three stages. Stage 1 is alarm reaction, Stage 2 resistance, and Stage 3 is exhaustion. What are those? Well, alarm reaction can be simplified when an active psychological response to a threat or challenge in a decrease of individual energy and coping effectiveness in response to inertial shock. The resistance means a stress that affects the range of biochemical, psychological, and behavioral mechanisms of individual, whereby it gives more energy to overcome or remove the stress. There are a few signs of resistance, such as having poor concentration and frustration. The last stage of a JAS model is exhaustion, whereby people have limited endurance as if it were a constant source of stress. There are a few signs that show someone in this exhaustion situation, such as having fatigue, depression, and anxiety. Moving to the next point, do you know what is stressor? Stressor can be defined as an environmental condition that put a physical or emotional demand on your person. There are three causes of stress in this life. The first one is role-related stressor, where it occurs when two roles or employees have a conflict with each other. The situation is when two new employees have a conflict with each other. The situation is when two new employees are hired by company and they work in the same department. They always have misunderstanding when presenting their paperwork that result to a conflict, as they never get credit from their executive. Second is organizational and physical environment stressor. This stressor can be described as lack of equipment, supplies, budgeting, finding information, and many more. For example, Ali is currently working in this particular company, could not have enough money or budget to renovate with a more conducive workplace. As a result, the employees feel stressed to work due to the inconducive work environment. Lastly is non-stressor that consists of time-based conflict and role behavior conflict. This type of stressor related to any kind of problem that not related with work environment, such as having relationship problem, illness, family problem, and so on. Next, I will proceed with consequences of stress. The consequences of stress can be categorized into three, which is psychological, behavioral, and physiological. Physiological is when the stress has led us to getting exposed to the high risk of getting illness such as hypertension, digestion problem, blood pressure, and so on. The next one is the behavioral. Behavioral is when our behavior is greatly affected due the stress such as completed work, performance, employment, and so on. And lastly, the psychological is when our emotional aspect have been negatively affected as well due to the stress such as such as we become moody, mood swing, temperament, and so on. So we have reached at last subtopic, which is managing stress. There are many ways that we can do to manage the stress. First one is by removing the stress, which we can done by investigating the causes of stress for the employee and then change the corporate and work environment. We can introduce our system to encourage our employees more. The second point is to withdraw from the stressor, which means permanent withdrawal or temporary withdrawal. Permanent withdrawal means that you resign from your working place and find you some place that the environment in the less stress throughout the withdrawal means that either taking a vacation or moving to different department. Next is change your stress perception. This is when you having a positive self concept all by yourself, controlling your stress consequences. This means to have a healthy lifestyle, which is to your fitness, your wellness, your mental well-being. Lastly, the way to manage the stress is by receiving social support. Receiving social support not only comes from family and friends, but also comes from your own coworker in your workplace. That's all for chapter 6. Thank you.
I will be explain about chapter 7, which is team. Consists of 2 or more people in one group, which they share a specific goal together. Next is the advantages. More information and idea. This will give benefit as the idea come from a member who have a different experience. Next is less pressure. It is because thoughts and responsibility are sharing with each other. Besides that, team also has disadvantages. Firstly, time consuming. It will take a longer time to choose the best solution as it involves each other member idea. Secondly, dominate the group. Some of individuals tend to dominate the group when they have strong personalities. Next, I will explain about social loafing. It is where the people will put in less effort in a group task. To prevent this from happening, we can specialize the tasks, like give a personal task within the group, so they will likely to finish the task. Next is form a smaller group. Social loafing is less likely to happen when the group is small, because it will become more visible or obvious if someone else not making much effort as others. Type of team and informal group. Firstly are permanent teams. In the organization, this team is the one who work together continuously. Even when they have achieved a specific goal, this team will not be dissolved. Next is temporary team. This team established for a certain time and will abolish after successfully achieve the objective. Next is informal group. This group are formed by member itself because they share a common interest. For example, the member will meet to talk and chatting about the common interests, issues, and sometimes it acts as an emotional support. Next is visual team. It is a group of people communicate and discuss using digital tools like Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and others. It can be used when the members are located and reside in a different location. Next, a model of team effectiveness. It means how team effectiveness model help the organization to recognize the strength of team member group. The first one is organizational and team environment. It represents all factors that influence in team and exist beyond their boundaries. Next is team process. It means how the team member working together to achieve a specific goals. There are 4 key in team process. The first one is team development. The organization take a faster step to interact or to get know with each other through team building for the purpose to achieve a group goal. Next are norms. Norms are the informal rules that group establish to regulate the behavior of their member. In fact, breaking those norms will give displeasure from team members. Third is cohesiveness. It refers to the attractions or how people feel similar to their group member. The last one are team trust. It means how the team members are willing to rely on each other. Besides that, we also have team design features. It means how the group are created or designed to carry out a specific function. There are three types of team design features, which is task characteristic, like what are the tasks that they have to do, is it clear or not. Sometimes team prefer with a higher task interdependence. Next are size. It means the right size of member in one group will become more effective. The last one is composition. All the members must work well in one group. Three levels of task interdependence under task characteristic, which the first one is reciprocal, is the highest level. It means all the members in the group will realize or interact with each other. As we can see here, A, B, and C realize with each other. The second one is sequential. They have to wait for one another. Like A have to finish tasks first and then B after that C. The lowest interdependence are pool. The resource persons are responsible in giving all the tasks to A, B, and C, which A, B, and C did not rely or interact to each other. Lastly, I will explain technique to improve team effectiveness. First one are constructive conflicts. It is like allow conflicts that focus on tasks rather than people. The member can talk openly and the other will listen to the other points. Next are brainstorming. We can speak freely to give a solution and idea. For example, don't criticize if any member of team start to speak or share the idea. The last one are electronic brainstorming. The question will be posed and participants submit the idea using computer. We will appear as anonymous. In conclusion, it is important for us to learn about organizational behavior because it will help us to increase the performance or commitment in the workplace. So, with the knowledge, we can create a positive influence on others with a systematic manner to achieve an objective. As we know, a healthy workplace can increase a person's happiness and brings positive energy.
That's all from us. Thank you.